Hello and welcome back to the Toffee YouTube channel, your source for all things Everton. My name is Thomas and we're back with another Football Manager video today. We've placed Diego Simeone in charge of Everton. A couple of you have requested this in the comments, so we thought we'd check it out so we can jump straight in here. It's the 1st of January, we've skipped ahead. As you can see, Everton are 4th in the Premier League. We can take a quick look at how they got there by looking at the schedule. No, we've ended up on Manchester City schedule somehow. As you can see, they are 4th in the table, 35 points, 10 wins, 5 draws, 5 losses. A resounding 15 points off the top of the table, though. I think my maths are right there, yeah. We take a quick look at the schedule, see how they've got there so far. Back-to-back wins at the start of the season against Palace and West Ham before 2 losses against Bournemouth and Chelsea in the league, but a 4-0 win in the Carabao Cup second round. A draw against Watford, a win against Newcastle, then back-to-back losses against Chelsea and City. 2 draws against Liverpool and Wolves, and a loss against Leicester, and then another loss against Brighton, but then unbeaten until January from then, winning all the games apart from Manchester United and Aston Villa, which were draws. In the transfers, we can see here, brought in Di Silvestri, I think that is, a right wing back from Torino, and then this French kind of right-sided player as well. Brought in for 1.1 million, and obviously transfers out, no one that interesting apart from obviously Oumar Niasse has joined Dynamo Kiev as he always does. We'll take a quick look at the tactics so far. Simeone opting for a 4-4-2 with Sidibe right back, Digne left back, and the centre back partnership of Mina and Keane, who will be off the left, Nigo on the right, Delph and Gomez in the middle, and Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin up front. So we'll skip to the end of the season now, see how they do for the rest of the season, see if they can continue to get a Champions League position, see if they go on a cup run in the FA Cup, and we'll be back in a minute. Hello, welcome back. As you can see, we've skipped to the 18th of May and Everton have finished the season 4th in the Premier League. Simeone has stayed as the manager, meaning for now Everton have qualified for the Europa League, which is dependent on whoever wins the Europa League final to see whether they get Champions League. So at the moment, that is just the Europa League, despite finishing 4th. We can take a quick look at transfers. In January, Willy Caballero came in from Chelsea for £325,000 as a backup to Pickford, and then also Pedro signed on the right wing. So 3 right-sided players signed by Simeone in his first 2 transfer windows, and then made transfers out. Leighton Baines on the 6th of January joined PAOK in the Greek Super League for £375,000. Potentially rising to 450. We can take a quick look at the schedule. From January onwards, carried on the win streak with a win against Wolves and then a win in the FA Cup third round, but then back-to-back losses and back-to-back draws. City, Liverpool, United, and then Liverpool in the FA Cup fourth round. But then, as you can see, 4th round replay after extra time with Iwobi scoring in the 115th minute to put Everton past Liverpool in the 4th round, going into the 5th round of the FA Cup, as well as a draw to West Ham. Then a win against Crystal Palace and Aston Villa before a loss to Tottenham. And then in the FA Cup 5th round, a win against West Ham, so into the 6th round there. And then a win against Southampton and a draw against Arsenal. And then, as you can see there, beating Arsenal this time in the FA Cup quarter-final with Sigurdsson and Calvert-Lewin goals. Then we can keep going further down to see back-to-back wins in the Premier League, so keeping the form consistent there, only 1 loss since 18th of January. And then penalty win against Tottenham in the FA Cup semi-final. Sigurdsson and Holgate scoring in the full 90 minutes, the 120 minutes, sorry. Loss against Chelsea, a win against Bournemouth, a loss against Newcastle, and a win against Watford. And then, as you can see, following the penalty win, similar to the Coleman video, we've ended up with a cup final against Manchester City, which we will be commentating over, so I'm going to skip to that. That is in 5 days from the point we've skipped to now. And we'll take a look at the highlights, see if they can win again, and we'll be back in a moment. Hello and welcome back. As you can see, we've skipped to FA Cup final day. Take a quick look at news. Simeone expects business as usual, so he's confident of a good result. So we're going to skip into the game now, see the lineups, and then see the 90 minutes. As you can see, the lineups here, Calvert-Lewin starting up top in a 4-2-3-1, a midfield of Delph and Gomez, Sigurdsson in the 10, Iwobi off the left or Richarlison off the right. Willy Caballero opted as the goalkeeper of choice. You can see the bench there, Jared Branthwaite from Carlisle, Anthony Gordon, so quite a youthful bench there, with Gbamin making the bench as well. We can look at City's side with a 4-1-2-3 formation with Mahrez and Sterling either side of Aguero. So we're going to go into the game now, take a look at the highlights, see if Everton can get another result like in the Ronald Koeman video. Zinchenko with a throw in there deep in their own half to Laporte, playing the ball forwards now to Fernandinho, into Silva, who's going to square it to Foden. Manchester City playing a patient possession game. Cancelo going down the right wing here. No tackle yet, with a good ball into Mahrez inside the box. And he takes a shot, but Caballero saves it. As you can see now, Digne with the throw in on the left-hand side into Gomez, who takes his time on the ball before passing it inside to Delph, back to Mina. Richarlison now down the right-hand side, back inside to Delph. Everything coming through Delph and Gomez at the moment. A good ball into Iwobi from Gomez and back to Gomez again. Digne now down the left-hand side looking to put in a cross, but squares it back to Gomez. All the way back to Delph again, so more possession for Everton. Digne down the left, back. Now Gomez is going to push into the box here, try and play a ball across to Iwobi. And now Gomez is going to put a ball to the back cross, and then Richarlison with a header at the back post. 1-0 to Everton inside the first 17 minutes. Bravo now with the goal kick into Mahrez, close to the halfway line, back to Silva. Now Silva's going to play it forwards. No one decided to put a foot in here at all for Everton, but Richarlison tracks back to Zinchenko, who plays a good ball into Foden. Now Foden again on the ball. He's going to push into the box here, then play a good ball into Mahrez, who's going to put a back ball to the back post to Sterling, but Sidibe manages to block it. Only straight out to Foden again though, and they're going to come back for another shot here, Manchester City, but Foden collects the ball again. Foden now down the right hand side, João Cancelo going to put in a cross, but then his shot is blocked and it's out for an Everton goal kick. Manchester City with a corner here, Silva into Foden, but it's over the bar. Another corner for City here, Silva in, but Calvert-Lewin clears up at the back post, and Iwobi can counter down the left hand side now. He takes on the right back there, manages to beat him. Iwobi now into the box with a shot, and it's 2-0 to Everton on the stroke of half time. Snuck it in at the near post, past Bravo, and that is a great first half for Everton. Half time now, we can take a quick look at the stats. 9 shots for City versus the 3 of Everton. Both having 3 shots on target and 50-50 possession, so a fairly even game. All in all, Iwobi being Everton's best performer so far, with Gylfi Sigurdsson being the worst. So we're going to go into the second half this year and see if Everton can secure the result in the next 45 minutes. And towards the 80th minute, and no highlights yet this half. Be a miraculous recovery if City can score 2 goals in the last 5 minutes of this game. But they're going to get a highlight here. But Digne on the ball, Gomez in the midfield, back to Holgate. But he's tackled by Aguero, who's now going to counter-attack into the box, take a shot, and it's wide of the far right post, past Caballero. And you've got to think that's probably one of City's last chances. Heading into the 90th minute now, 3 minutes of added time, and there we have it. Everton are FA Cup champions again, like in the Ronald Koeman video, and that's a brilliant cup run for the club. We'll take a quick look at the post-match stats, finishing 16 shots for Manchester City versus 7 for Everton. Everton had no shot on target that half, but had the greater possession, with Andre Gomez being the best performer in the midfield. So we're going to take a quick look now. We're going to go past the Europa League final to see if Everton can qualify for the Champions League, and we'll be back in just a moment. As you can see on your screens here, Bayern Munich have beaten Manchester United 6-0 in the Europa League final, meaning if we go and look at the Premier League table, Everton have qualified for the Champions League for next season. So in Simeone's first season, we've seen Champions League qualification and an FA Cup win, so a brilliant first season. So thank you very much for watching the video. We'll be back with Simeone's second season in the coming days. So leave a like, comment and subscribe. Let us know what you thought of this video, if you want to see any other managers or players in, and we will simulate them in the game. So thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.